It's now time for me to have a conversation with Rachel. Rachel,
Yes,
you look quite happy, eh? How is marriage?
Marriage is sweet.
It's sweet, eh?
Very sweet.
Okay.
It's very sweet having your best friend by your side.
Wow.
Yes.
Look at that, eh? The best friend who had a crush on you from siku za enzi, eh?
And he's still the man I want to spend the rest of my life with.
What was it about him? Because you know, when you were in primary school, you're not liking him, but now then when he said hi to you at the marketplace, you decided now to grow something with him. What was it about him?
I remember when we met, there's something that I felt in me, because I was in previous relationships and they never worked. The reason being, I had come from a broken family where my parents had divorced.
Sorry.
And it was very painful at that time. So I had with my previous friends, they were not able to understand me. Nobody could understand me. So most of the time we could date for 2 months. That's the end of it. But when he came, I felt, wow, I'm at peace. Even before talking to him, I was at peace.
Yeah. You mentioned, both of you, that communication is a challenge. You know, every single relationship and marriage has got its own challenges.
Yeah.
You mentioned communication. Now, you feel like he talks better, he communicates better than yourself.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is the case?
Because as for me, I'm a silent person. I'm not that silent, but I'm a silent communicator. Sometimes he might do something wrong. But I feel now, why should you have done it in the first place? So instead of me telling him, I keep quiet and I get angry.
Why do you keep quiet? If
I don't know.
You don't know?
I just don't know. I find myself quiet and I expect him to know why I feel sad or why I'm quiet or why I'm angry. But at the end of the day, he tells me, just talk, just talk.
Yeah.
And as the days have been going by, I've just learned how to talk. Nowadays, it's better than we started.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
You're improving in your
I'm
communication.
improving.
Or you would like to do better?
Yeah, yeah, in the coming days. Right now, I can say it's not like before.
Yeah.
When we started, it was,
You were just a silent wife, eh?
I could give him silent times and he would wonder what's wrong. But now, we're improving.
Okay.
And we are going somewhere together.
Yeah.
Yes.
He also mentioned about, you know, watching different TV shows. He can want to watch this one, you want to watch that one.
Yes.
So that's how do you two go about it from your perspective?
Okay, we agreed on it, and we had a list of when the timing of the programs. So my timing of the program on Mondays and on Fridays and Thursdays.
Yeah.
So he tells me those days they are yours,
Yes.
and the rest are mine. Now we came to a win-win situation,
Yeah.
and now we no longer fight about it. We agreed and we moved forward about it. Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. You are talking like a wife who's definitely being loved up by the husband.
Very, very.
So thank you so much for having this conversation with me, Rachel. It's been a pleasure speaking with you and you sharing your personal journey. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've been speaking with Rachel, and after the break, I'll be having a conversation with the husband, Mr. Jackson himself. Stay tuned to Decoded. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for me to have a conversation with Mr. Jackson himself so that we can get to hear from his side of his story. Jackson, you're looking quite happy, eh? Marriage is treating you good, eh?
Marriage is awesome.
Let me ask you this. You say that in primary school, when Rachel transferred to another school, you were devastated. Why? You had a crush on her or something?
I think, I don't know whether to call it a crush, but the point is, my heart appreciated her and I liked her so much.
Okay.
Yes.
So fast forward
Correct.
to this moment in time where you as a grown man, you're going for your hustle.
Yes.
You're going for your hustle, you're going for this business deal which doesn't go as planned.
Correct.
Do you feel like, you know, it was a divine arrangement for you to actually meet Rachel that day at the fruit salad place?
I think so. And the reason I say that is because even when we discuss it, both of us, the Bible says the steps of the righteous are ordered of the Lord. I believe that my steps that they were ordered of God, because had I not gone to Kiserian, a town nearby Rongai, to see that prospective client, I would never have met her. So I believe it was a divine connection. Destiny was at work.
Wow. So something good came out of the disappointment.
Correct.
Oh, look at that.
There's a silver lining in the disappointment. Yes.
And then there you are, you're preparing your wedding, and then there's this push and pull, this back and forth. Did you perhaps sometimes felt as if these external forces were going to ruin this love that actually now you found and you want to have?
Yes. For some time we felt it, but the advantage is that right from onset, we underwent premarital counseling.
So you went through premarital counseling as a couple?
We went through premarital counseling as a couple, and one of the things that our pastor really underscored and insisted to us, he told us that we are building a brand Jackson Sitoya. So that was so powerful, and I knew that as a man, I had to fight for brand Jackson Sitoya, and I had to be strong, even despite the challenges. I had to take my stand, I had to put my feet on the ground and ensure that no external forces will infiltrate this brand that we were building. And today, so far so good, we thank God, the brand is holding up.
Oh, look at you. You're even speaking with confidence. Wonderful. So you've gotten married, you went through the wedding,
yes,
and then you're in marriage now.
Yes.
And then she mentioned, your wife Rachel, that you're a better communicator than her. What do you think she means by that?
I think what she means is that I try to update her on every step of my way. Before I got into a relationship, or when I felt that I was becoming ready for a relationship, I started investing my time in learning about marriage and relationships. And one of the things that every speaker or every writer would underscore is the importance of communication. So I said that if this thing cuts across, I will ensure that I invest in it and I make it practical in my marriage. So I update her. If I'm going to work, when I arrive at my workstation, I text her, "Hi dear, I'm at work."
You tell your wife that
I tell her exactly I've reached, I'm at work. If I'm leaving my workstation, coming back home, I call her or I text her, I tell her I'm on my way home, what can I bring, or basically I'm on my way. So, and for her, maybe she's not, she doesn't update me as much as I do. I think she's also maybe a good communicator, but maybe not to my level.
So would you like her to do more of that?
I would appreciate. I would want her to do more of that. Yes.
Okay, wonderful.
Yes.
And then you also mentioned about the whole, you call it a minor issue, but for many couples, or perhaps even watching the show, it's a big issue where, you know, you were a bachelor and now you're married, and then you have to share space, and then here you are, you want to watch your favorite TV show, and then there's a tussle, there's a disagreement with your spouse. How does that go?
You know, everybody growing up, they have their own preferences, and during singlehood, I might love something, my wife might have loved something in her singlehood, but when we meet, we have to share a common space. So it becomes a challenge. Maybe I might have a favorite program that I'm maybe watching on television, whatever program, and she has a certain program that maybe she also wants to watch. But basically, what we do, we don't allow ourselves to fight. We just communicate. We say, okay, we can even watch this one during maybe for the 5 minutes that it can be on air. Then when it goes for a break, we switch to the other.
Oh, switch, eh? I like what you say that switch TV, eh?
Yeah, we switch to the other program. The other thing that I also ask myself is, assuming there was a blackout, both of us would have missed on both.
On the shows, actually.
On both shows.
Yes, yes.
So we don't allow such basically artificial things to come in our way. We just choose to focus on how to building our marriage. And sometimes some of these things that even people love are quite, they don't even have maybe inspiration. You cannot compare it to a program like Decoded, which is very impactful. So that's how we solve it. We don't allow it to come in between us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jackson. And thank you even for appreciating what it is that we do on this show.
Correct.
We're all about celebrating relationships and marriages. And so thank you so much for sharing your personal journey. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been speaking with Mr. Jackson. And after this, I'll have a conversation with him and the wife, Rachel, so we can get to decode this further. Stay tuned. We have a segment called Ask Dan where you, the viewer, get to write to me questions about relationships or marriage and I get to answer. Today's question comes from a lady and she writes, Dear Dan, I am falling in love with a man who's a few years younger than me and I'm confused and I'm scared. Is this okay? Let me ask you this. When you look at that man that you're falling in love with, does he portray maturity? What is the reason why he's pursuing you? What is the reason why you're interested in him? You say that you're falling in love with him. Maturity is not so much about age because you could be 40 but not mature. You could be 20 but then you're acting like quite a mature person. So ask yourself, is this person mature enough to handle the responsibility of you? Because if you make the mistake of falling in love with somebody who's younger than you and also younger in terms of his growth and maturity, then he will become very insecure. Marriage and love is a private decision. Don't make it based on public opinion. It's who you choose for the betterment of your future. Is he worth it? Is he worth giving your heart to? Think about these words. If you have any questions that you'd like me to answer, feel free to reach me on 111 444 111 or through our social media handle, and I'll be glad to answer.